welcome back. If this is your first time, I hope you'll stay. Espero que te quedes. Today, we're going to be looking at movies. There's a question. I was looking through past papers. I was looking at the vocab to do with GCSE Spanish, Spanish you do with high school or secondary school, and this is a typical question. ¿Qué tipo de película te gusta? So what kind of movies do you like? Or what was the last film you saw? ¿Cuál fue la última película que viste? Or ¿vas al cine a menudo? So these are questions that you could possibly be asked in an exam situation. And even if it doesn't come up in your exam, it's good to know how to talk about movies in Spanish. So, as usual, I've got different sections on the board for you. I have adjectives, words that you're going to use to describe the film. Then you have nouns to do with the film. And of course, I love my expressions in Spanish because they're so rich. I have expressions to do with the topic also. And I've got lots of verbs for you. Okay, so we are able to conjugate and talk about films. Okay, so without further ado, let us begin. I'm going to start, I think, with the verbs, los verbos. Okay, some of these you might recognize because they're quite similar, I'd say, to the English. Actuar, you take off the second part, you get act. Act, actuar, to act. Yes, to act in a movie, to act, actuar. That was the easy one. I always start with the very easy ones. Okay, next, protagonizar. Protagonizar, to star in a movie. Okay, so who's starring in that movie? ¿Quién protagoniza la película? Who stars in it? So to star as the verb, not star as the object, but to star. Who is the main character? Who comes out in it? Who is a memorable person? Who stars in it? Okay, protagonizar. Protagonizar. That's a difficult word to say actually. Okay, protagonizar. 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 And that word exists in English as well. So there's a synonym for act, for star, which is that. Okay. Estar doblada. Doblado. You might have seen doblado, which is to fold. But estar doblada, when you're talking about movies, it means to dub. Okay? To be dubbed. To dub into English. So if I'm watching a original Spanish film, they might dub it into English so we, as English speakers, can understand better. So it's when you dub, to dub into, okay, so or to be dubbed into another language. Yeah, I think we do. We do that. I think in Spain they do that a lot more. There are a lot more films that have been dubbed into Spanish. I think most other countries just put subtitles, okay? Because it's nice to see films in the original version also, okay? To grabar, which is to record. Grabar fue grabada en Colombia. It was recorded in Colombia. Dirigir, which is direct, okay? It was directed by a famous director. Okay, rodar is the same as grabar, which was filmed. Okay, it was filmed, it was recorded. To film or to record something, when you're talking about movies, either of these, rodar or grabar, or you can say filmar, which is to film as well. Those three words, look out for them. Recomendar, to recommend, is the same. To recommend, I recommend you see this movie. La recomiendo mucho. Recommend, to recommend. And to critique is when you get criticar. It sounds like you're criticizing something, criticar, te critico, okay? I'm criticizing you. But it's when you give your opinion, to critique, okay? To critique a movie, okay? And the last one, ensayar. I love this word. Ensayar is to rehearse. So it's when you practice, rehearse, you practice so you can get your lines right and that you can do it the best way you possibly can in the final, for the final product, okay? So to rehearse, ensayar. Los actores enseñaron todos los días. The actors rehearsed every day. Okay, right, fantastic. So that's your verbs done for you. There we go, lovely. And now we're going to go over to our expressions. All of these expressions have the word película, okay, so film. It doesn't really necessarily have to do with film, but as it has the word película, I thought I'm going to put that in. I'm going to jot that in for you. So, el malo o la mala de la película is the baddie or the bad guy. Just the other day, I said to my husband, I always have to, yo siempre soy la mala de la película. I always have to be the baddie because I'm always the one who is saying no, or I'm always the one who has to do things that perhaps the children don't like. So, ser el malo de la película, to be the baddie, you know, the person who, the villain. I don't want to be the villain or the baddie. The villain or the baddie, okay, or the bad guy. Yeah? Eres el malo de la película. Okay? You're the baddie. Right. I love this one. Montar una película. Ayer vino Pablo, se montó una película. Okay? Se montó. Could be montarse as well. I think I hear it a lot more montarse. Se montó una película, which means either you let your imagination run wild, you start to think the worst of the situation, and so yeah, just let your imagination run away with you, is what it means. Montar una película. So you know, you're the sort of person who lives in your head a lot. So you're always thinking the worst. What if this happens? Or, you know, this might be the outcome, or, and you don't know. Montas una película, okay? Right. When someone says something is de película, it means it's amazing, it's brilliant, it's just smashing, okay? Marvelous, it's wonderful. So you can say, el arroz está de película. So the rice is amazing. What did you put in it? El arroz está de película. The rice is so nice, it's amazing, brilliant. So when something's of good quality, it's high, it's amazing, it's brilliant, you would say de película, okay? Of a movie, okay? Right. Película on its own. So these are all just colloquial expressions. If someone's just talking to you about película and you know it's not related to a movie, it's actually a lie. Una película que nos dijo, una película, it's a lie, it's a story, he made it up. Es una película, okay? Tú sabes cómo es. Es toda una película. You know how he is, it's all a lie. It's a story, he made it all up, okay? And hacer película. Hizo una película ayer, okay? So it's when you make a scene, okay? You're overly dramatic. And so everyone's looking at you because it's a scene, it's a massive scene. Es hacer una película, es hacer película. Okay? Let me know if you knew any of these ones, because I do really like them. And with that, we're going to move on to types of movies that you might have watched or that exist. Now, as usual, you do know that the list cannot be as long as all the words that exist in Spanish because it's just, we don't have the time. So I might miss out some genres of movies, and that's okay. I might have to do a part 2. Just let me know. Right. So, what kind of movies? You have documental, which is a documentary. You have película de terror, which is a scary movie. Let's use another color pen. A scary movie. Película de terror. A scary movie. Okay? Comedia romántica. I don't have to translate that for you. So that's a romantic comedy. A romantic comedy. Okay? Good. Ciencia ficción. Again, if you listen to it and you look at the writing, you'll know what it means. Ciencia, what does ciencia sound like? Ciencia, science, and ficción, fiction, so sci-fi, okay? A sci-fi, okay? A sci-fi movie, okay? Or a science fiction movie. Alright, next one, biográfica. Una película biográfica. Una película biográfica is a biopic. So a biopic tells you about someone's life. So someone interesting and their life. Okay, it's all about your life. It's your biografía. Okay, right. Policíaca. Policíaca is a whodunit. Whodunit. So it's a detective movie. Okay, policíaca, whodunit, or a detective movie as we call it. Okay, now. There are some other words here to do with movie. Secuela, which is secuela. It's an L. It looks a bit like an R. Secuela is a sequel, so a sequel to a movie. It's a segunda parte. Okay. Or trilogía. Trilogía is a trilogy, which is the third part. Trilogy. A trilogy, like Lord of the Rings, es una trilogía, creo. Sí. And estreno, premiere. So it's that first showing of a film, okay? A premiere. Right, so these are types of movies. And now we're going to have a little look at some adjectives. Who doesn't love with some adjectives? Okay, look at this word. Pre, which is pre, decible. If we take the edges off, we have decir. Okay? Decir. Can you guess what it means? Predecible. Predecible. Can you guess what it means? Stop right there. Stop right there. Do you know what it means? Predecible? Have you got it? I think you have. Okay? So predictable. The movie was so predictable. ¿Te gustó la película? No mucho. Fue muy predictible. Okay? Muy predictible. Predecible. Oh my gosh. This is me just putting an accent on an English word. Predecible. Okay? I just put an accent on an English word and there you go, take it. Predecible. Predecible is predictable. Okay. Sobrevalorada or valorado if you're not talking about the movie. La película es muy sobrevalorada. It means that it's overrated. There's a lot of fuss about this movie. I think it's overrated. Okay? It's overrated. It's sobrevalorada. Right, next one. This one you've seen because you've seen it in other topics as well. Entretenida. La película es muy entretenida. It is very entertaining indeed. Entertaining. Okay, good. This one I didn't even have to put, but because I'm being generous, I'll put it. Informativo. It's just changing the E, the O to a E. Informativo is informative. Okay, it's informative. Fue increíble. Increíble. Incredible. Incredible. It was amazing. Okay? It was brilliant. Increíble. You knew that word. Right. I like this. Basado en una historia real. Okay? Basado en una historia real. It was based on a true story. Based on a true story. Okay? Me gustó mucho porque está basado en una historia real. You feel a bit more because you know that it happened and the characters are more relatable, right? Okay, es una película para reflexionar. That's an R here, guys. It looks like an L, but it's an R, okay? Me and my left-handed self. Para reflexionar is thought-provoking, okay? So it's thought-provoking. Okay, it makes you think, it makes you stop and reflect. Es para reflexionar, okay? It makes you think, it's thought-provoking. Next one, these are actually two words. Emotivo, so it brings out your emotion, it's emotiva. It's una película emotiva. Oh, because I have been asking, you know when a movie is really soppy, you know, it's soppy, it's tear-jerking, but just really soppy. I think the word is empalagosa, okay? Era muy empalagosa, you know, very like over the top sweet or over the top, full of emotions. So it's between those two. You can describe it as muy emotiva because it makes you feel a lot, or empalagosa because it's too much, it's too soppy. Yeah? I like soppy films though sometimes. Me gusta que a veces sean un poco empalagosa mis películas. Porque, claro, a veces es bueno llorar. Y otras veces, pues no tanto. Okay, right. Llena de acción. Action-packed. I like these kind of movies that are action-packed. So, action-packed. So, llena de acción. Llena de acción is action-packed. Then we have galardonada or premiada, which means it's an award-winning film. It's an award-winning. It's an award-winning film. Okay, so es una película premiada o galardonada. Okay, that's a mouthful as well. Okay. La película, pues, más o menos, so-so. Nothing special. It was so-so. It was alright, más o menos, so-so. Nothing to write home about, so-so. Or maybe you just want to say, muy aburrida. It's very boring. Aburrida. It was so dull. So dull. The other adjectives you can use that I'm not going to go over because you already know them, like slow, lenta. You think, make some suggestions down below of words that you would use to describe the film that I haven't mentioned. Sure, you have more ideas than I do. And okay, yeah, up here I do have some other nouns that might be useful and because they're common. You might want to talk about the soundtrack. The way to say soundtrack is banda sonora. La banda sonora fue genial. Me encantó la banda sonora. Okay? La banda sonora fue genial. Okay? Muy bonita. ¿Vale? Okay. You might want to talk about el reparto. El reparto is the cast, so the people in the film. Un reparto inmejorable. Okay? So the cast was the best that you can find, just amazing. El papel, the role. El papel para Brad Pitt no me gustó. Okay, I didn't like this role for Brad Pitt. I see more of un galán. Okay, right. Guión, which is the script. El guión. No me gustó mucho el guión. Didn't like the script very much. Or the script was amazing. Who knows? And the last word I have for you, which is cortometraje. A cortometraje is a short length film. Okay? A short length film. Cortometraje. This topic is so vast that I'm sure there's something that I've missed out. Pero por ahora me gustaría contestar a esta pregunta. ¿Cuál fue la última película que te viste? ¿Que viste? ¿Que te viste? ¿Que viste? La última película que viste, ¿cuál fue? ¿Te gustó? ¿De qué va? ¿De qué va la película? Let me know down below. Okay? What is it about? What was the last film? And so on. Tell me all you can about the last film. La última película que viste, ¿cuál fue? ¿Te gustó? ¿Y de qué va? Okay? And so with that, guys, I am going to leave you because I think that is all for today. And with that, voy a decir hasta pronto. And have a really good weekend. It's the weekend. So, yeah, hasta pronto. Adiós.